What do you want us to do?
So I'm actually going to ask you some questions. So this is Nancy and Karen, and this is, again, the end of our first day at the Revivify workshop. And I want to ask you both, first of all, you both came together to the conference, to the Revivify workshop.
We did.
What were you looking to get from it? And you can answer me individually, and you can ask each other. I want to hear, what were the reasonings you came for it? What were you looking for?
I confess that I suffer from a sense of not being competent, and feeling that way really influences my work. I'm very well aware of that, and just shifting to yes, you are competent is kind of too big of a jump, in spite of evidence from particular clients. To the contrary, I still have this idea. So it's a self-image. A distorted self-image is really clear, so I was hoping, I know it is that, but I don't know how to shift it. Right. So I was hoping by coming to this workshop that I would be taken through some experiences that would help me shift that. And I can say that that's happening.
So that's happening. That's a great, then my question is what happened today? What kind of process did you do today that helped you shift that thinking? Because I'll bet a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people feel that way. So what would you share with them that was one of the processes that helped you with that?
It started not today, believe it or not. It started with watching one of these nifty videos that got put out on the web. I think this one was created by Candy Canino, one of the teachers of this workshop. She started off with, competence is a process. And I said, really? I thought it was an endpoint. So it started right there.
Wow,
actually.
yeah.
So and so what happened today was I had an opportunity to tell a story about a difficulty that I've had in my practice, and I told the story of engaging with a client that is bringing to me his issues, which is a struggle for me to figure out how to interact with them on many levels. And I was asked a lot of questions by the group that was listening to me to help me to draw me out as to what my experience of myself was in this interaction. And then they had this library of cards with competencies listed on, one per card, or maybe there are resources. Apparently there are 180 things that the task force has
Knowledge and abilities.
Knowledge and abilities, yes, 180 of them that the Feldenkrais community has identified that we do. And so after listening to my story and how I was handling being in the midst of this interaction with this client, one of the people in the group just read to me, probably, I didn't count, but it felt like 20 or 30. It was a lot of things that she heard that I had said, that I had done while I'm interacting with my client. And I'm sitting there nodding, going, oh, I did. Oh, I did. And the end point of it was that in having them reflected back to me, I was able to recognize that I know a whole lot more than I knew that I knew. In other words, my sense of not being competent was based on
a distorted
self-image. And I could recognize that I was doing these things when I heard them, but I didn't know that I was doing them. So I was operating out of a place of not knowing.
So there really was a difference then if you had the cards yourself and went through them versus if other people are looking at the cards and reading them back to you what they're observing.
There could be. I didn't read the cards for myself,
right,
but
they
knowing
read
myself
them.
And how judging I am about myself,
right.
I probably would not have recognized them.
Awesome.
At least half of them. Yeah.
Fantastic. That's a huge thing to share. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job.
So Nancy, what brought you here?
What brought me here? Well, I had participated in one of the pilot projects when they were developing the course, but I hadn't taken the full workshop after the pilot projects. And I remember that sort of moment that Karen's describing of going through the cards and saying, oh, wow, I do have things that I do know, and I'm, and I thought, well, that would be a good thing, because I'm kind of in a lull right now in terms of how I feel about my practice developing and all that. I feel like I'm doing good work with a few people that I'm working with, but not very many. And so it was kind of I need some energy and some boost, and I know that that's kind of how Candy and Dwight approach it.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to share with people? Because I might put this up tonight, even to the forum, or tomorrow, so to share with people that, you know, what would they get if they came to a Revivify workshop?
I think that they would get much more of an idea, certainly I'm getting much more of an idea of how I'm not the same person I was the day I finished my training.
Oh, wow.
That every person I work with, I learn from, and I don't always recognize that, but this is giving you some time to pause and reflect and think about and get feedback from, or not necessarily feedback, but sharing from colleagues, and it's a huge amount of, it's just helpful to have that kind of affirmation almost of what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I really think people, particularly people who feel a lack of confidence or a lack of competence, could benefit from coming to this workshop, because there are so many ways in which you get a chance to feel competent and or confident.
You know, and tell them just a little bit about what we did at the very end. We gave like a little mini FI and then read it off. So what was
You can
that?
kind of take it.
We had an assignment to, we had 15 minutes to interview our student, to create a mini FI, and then spend a few minutes together reflecting on how the experience...
By going over what list?
By going over a list of attitudes and values that are inherent in the work that we do as Feldenkrais practitioners.
Okay, thank you so much, and I think that that's something important. People can go and get that. They can find that online and
Yes,
to
they
go
can.
over it.
At the
Yes, it's the
IFF
IFF
website, apparently. The whole workshop book is available for all of us, for free.
Oh, did you hear that? Okay. If you're not willing to get this for free, don't make me come over and say something, because we care about you guys, because we're all family. So come do Revivify.